Yeah. Yeah. I'm just being honest. Connecting with the Black experience. It is the most disliked popular guy, Barry Axius, with the queen, Sage Queen, the queen of mothers and goddesses, my lovely sister, Mama Ro. We are back, family. We had to take a little break. Somebody was traveling all through the atmosphere, Vegas. Welcome back home. Seeing you and the sisters saging out the whole Sacramento area. Didn't sage out too many areas. You should have been in the South area. They needed some saging out too.
There's a lot more time to be saging.
Yeah. So
Valley, we did every damn where.
Exactly. So for folks who are probably just tuning in, we apologize. For the next 3 weeks, we'll be on at 8:30 to 9:30, an hour, 8:30 to 9:30. So more than likely, we probably won't have any guests, depending on the time frame. You're going to see a lot more of us. What'd you say?
I said, in the events, depending on what's happening on the planet for real.
Yeah, well, it's become how do you survive 2020? You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's the reality of it all. But again, 8:30, 9:30, that specific time. I don't know what it is when you flip it for Eastern time. But remember, Earth Mama Network, like, add, share, request, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, the whole bit. So my thing is, here we are, another day, Tuesday. How you feeling, love?
I'm feeling awesome.
Awesome. Look at you. You over there got your little groovy groove. What's popping? You know what I'm saying?
I had a good night's sleep. Yesterday was fantastic. My launch of my relaunch again. I did the Nurturing Greatness internship program. 17 girls. Incredible. And then I did Sage with the City with a bunch of sisters, and it was incredible. So I feel really good today.
I'm happy somebody feels like they energized today. You know what I'm saying?
I am. I see that you were at your protest at the coroner's office. Give us some insight, Barry.
Just to keep folks updated who not updated about the Taylor Blackwell story. Hold on a second. And that whole thing in itself is crazy for me. Taylor Blackwell, 19-year-old Black girl, died at Wood Springs Suites in South Sacramento. The mother was lifting up the work until myself and a few other folks got involved. I've kind of been spearheading a lot of the actions that we've been having and creating that dynamic of press and making sure just the things that I usually do with other cases that I've been involved with, making sure that the name of Taylor is heard and the story is seen. It's seen. Young people are really out there doing a lot to support as far as her friends and other young people that are being touched by this tragedy. We are out there because we don't know anything. That's the logistics of it. It's not because she got killed by police. It's not even because, as we know of now, she got killed by the individual that she was with. It's not a domestic violence case or nothing like that. It's a case of 5 months has gone by and we have no idea how she passed. Like, there's not an accidental death. It's not a murder investigation. It's nothing. It's almost kind of like, oh, she's dead. Well, how did she die? You know what I mean? The coroner's office ain't said nothing. PD ain't said nothing. It's just being like, all right, well, it's going to be an unsolved case. And until we really pushed up the volume, I really believe it was just going to just be like, all right, Black girl dead. Here's your funeral. Y'all do what y'all do and figure it out. But we couldn't let that slide. I couldn't let that slide, just having, children of my own that are girls, that I sat there and made sure that when I found out the story, because it was a hidden story in Sacramento, or a story that wasn't talked about as much, to make sure it got its proper spotlight and supporting the mom. And the mom is super encouraged. And just watching her be graceful in this moment of tragedy is helpful because she only wants the truth. And I don't think that's hard for anyone to ask. It's not that she's saying my daughter didn't do A, B, and C or blah, blah, blah. It's just like, well, how did she die? You know what I'm saying? If it's an accident, okay, well then why was it an accident? And I think to me, that's not too much to ask for. That's not too much to ask for at all. So we're in this weird place where we have to disrupt. Is you know, according to laws, it's civil disobedience, right? And to wake people up, we inconvenienced some people on Broadway by DMV at the coroner's office since they didn't want to open the doors. They were open on Monday, but they knew we were coming, so they shut down doors to the point where some workers who were coming in later couldn't get in. You know what I'm saying? And we're sorry for the inconvenience. And we shut down, you know, the Broadway Center by, you know, DMV where a lot of that traffic comes in. But these are the kind of methods we have to do for folks to really pick up and do their job. It's unfortunate, but it's necessary at the same time.
Right on, right on. What has been the response just of the community in general about this sister story? What has been our
To be honest with you, you know, I like being honest. I think this goes to show you the problem that we have, right? If Negroes was up in arms for George Floyd to the level of we tearing down buildings, and you and I both know it was deeper than George Floyd. For those who are like new to this, it was about George Floyd. But you and I both know it was really a deeper, you know, sequence on why that happened, right? It wasn't about George Floyd.
right?
But when you see our response to male deaths by police nationally, right? You see this, it's almost as if it was your own loved one. And we don't even know the person. Don't know character, don't know influence, don't know impact of this person. The person could have been literally a criminal during or in the past, but if he got killed wrongfully by police in that in a way that did not reach justified manners, we going hog wild. So you had a moment where we all came together, and the first action, it was a lot of folks, a lot of organizations, people were deep. And then as we've created all these other actions, we're the strength in numbers is awesome, but I also look, there's strength in quality. I don't need the quantity. So the quality we've had has been awesome and it's been excellent. But the numbers we have hasn't been numbers if it was a black male being killed by a police officer. That's just facts. I just don't think that relatively to me, you speak the notion a lot. I can concur because I have, you know, again, daughters myself, but I always stand up for everything in my community. I just don't wait for, you know, police to kill Negroes. I'm up when Negroes kill Negroes. I'm up when, you know, domestic violence happens to our sisters. I'm up, you know what I'm saying? I'm up on everything. We don't respond in a way that we should. I mean, be honest with you. And that doesn't matter what leader is leading it, because, you know, some of it could be, oh, Barry got the case, I ain't fucking with it. And it could be the case. That speaks more to the volume of you. Because I remember how many people were with me when I shut down the Slams barbecue. That was a pedophile ring. And I'm gonna say that because they had 2 pedophiles working in there. You understand what I'm saying? So Lord knows what could have happened if it wasn't shut down. I remember the numbers. And again, numbers weren't great. But again, it's about the quality, not the quantity. So the response from our community, though folks have shared it, folks have supported it, it's not a story that stays cemented in our minds enough. That's why we're doing what we're doing, because not enough of us are talking about it, or we want to talk about it for one day and then go on to the next. Listen, a 19-year-old black girl, healthy, vice president of the BSU at Sierra College, went to a hotel room with some guy and came out on a stretcher, dead. If that don't alarm you, if that don't put shockwaves, that don't make you want to go out and support the mother and the family and the friends who just want to know what the fuck happened. We just keep we tend to try to pick and choose what we want to be overzealous about and support. So it's encouraging for people to support it in a way they can and share, but I know where we're at, and we have more problems within ourselves, right, than we have anywhere else, and I'm going to stand by that. It's easy to talk about white supremacy, and you and I do, and I think we balance it, but you and I both know moving forward, it's always going to be the problem within. If you can't take care of the problem within, I mean, we've all had self-reflection. The day where you woke up, Mama Ro, and said, I want to be something different than myself. The day I woke up and said, I want to be something different with myself. What was that battle with? The battle was with you. You know what I'm saying? The battle wasn't with all the people you blamed or all the people that probably helped in where you were. The battle was with you first. And that's kind of where we're at. It's unfortunate, but it's something I'm not surprised about at all.
Right. I actually that question because you're a black male. I just want to hear your take on it. I know those numbers that I talk about black women being murdered at the hands of black men. That's not a popular topic because I'm not talking about all black men, but let's look at it. That's an internal problem that we have. That number has jumped to close to 700. I'll be releasing those numbers today. And again, it's going to fall on hushed ears because we don't want to discuss shit in your own house. It's like you want to clean up other people's houses. You want them to be clean and your house is filthy. So, we have some real biases in our community, but also those biases explain why some of us kind of lose our mind and jump to the other side because you almost expect things from other people, but you don't really expect that. And it hurts differently when it comes from people who look like you. Because there's a bond that we have that we don't want to recognize that we have, but we do. Mm-hmm. And that's why when people like Kanye West say shit like he said about Harriet Tubman, we want to jump down his throat because we're looking at this fool like, how do you say some shit like that about Harriet Tubman, but you ain't saying nothing about all this crazy shit that's happening to black people at the hands of other groups. I don't hear you targeting other groups the way you target black people. That hurts. That feels differently to a black person. It was nice to see brothers and sisters basically let his ass check his ass on Harriet Tubman. Like, you don't get to come for her. Negro, you don't get to do that. The hell wrong with you? So what's your feelings on Kanye? I just think the Negro is really sick, and I think he may need an ass whooping, and he may need to be set down. Let's just be honest. Because ass whoopings work. I don't care what nobody says.
You know what, sis?
I'm so sick of this.
I blame Kanye on all of us, right? And I say that because I think, when I say that because I think that we have gone into a place where we celebrate, right? And we are overjoyed in that idea of we're rooting for all black people, right? But a lot of black people ain't rooting for you.
Hello.
So when he first comes up, he was a breath of fresh air in the hip hop community at that particular time, right? There was a lot of stuff going on in the hip hop community. You and I both know because we were raised off the true hip hop. We were a part of the synergy. We was a part of the originality. We were a part of the birth, right? We didn't come to hip hop in a place where hip hop was already set. We were a part of the emergence of hip hop. So we helped raise the bar of hip hop, right? So you and I remember the class of hip hop. We remember the class of hip hop where versatility was the most important. Originality was so important, right? Then all of a sudden, hip hop, because of us again, became more commercialized, became more corporate, and became more desensitized and formulated in a formula of now, this is what's popular, and we're focusing on that. Which to me killed us in so many ways because hip hop was always great when the vibrations were, you got Kid and Play, but you got Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, you got Big Daddy Kane, but you also got MC Hammer and you got Schoolie D, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It was a great balance, of hip hop with emerging stars coming out from Tribe Called Quest to Public Enemy and some of those guys, KRS-One, folks that were mainstream but still touchable, X-Clan, whatever. But then you got into a point where hip-hop became so corporate and desensitized to our truth. There was no balance. You only had murder, 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 money, 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 jiggy, jiggy, jiggy. So it's like, wait a minute. So all we got to do is jiggy, jiggy. We get money. Kanye comes in and he's like bringing that essence back. And it's like, oh, snap. He's talking about those things that collectively we weren't talking about. So we supported him and we raised the bar and we made him feel like he was the truth upon truth. And that's the value of when you give too much power to one person and give that idea of genius, you're the greatest thing that ever hit, and forget about all the things that happened before you. Kanye, you are the guy. Nah, Negro, Kanye was just the renaissance of what we had before in one being. And so what we do is elevate. Negroes who ain't never had nothing, when they elevate to usually corporate white America, forget about their Negro side because they want to touch that mainstream side, right? And once they touch that mainstream side, I don't know what the hell happens. But the Negro's talking about he feels like he's a character of Get Out. So I don't know what happens, what kind of fraternity, but it seems like once Negroes escape themselves and cross over, some shit always happens. And now, you know, a Negro has become a madman. And I don't give a, listen, bless his dead mother, but there's many Negro that has dead parents. I ain't never had my mom. You understand what I've watched my mom be sick for all my life, right? And I can't use that in any way to be the reaction of how my behavior is. I have to deal with that and cope. I don't want to hear this excuse. What he is who he is. He's a narcissist. He thinks high of himself, and he's crazy, and he's a lunatic. And he may say some pointed things, but even a dumb Negro says some smart shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't even know why we're holding this nigga with esteem. And the fact that we are carrying any value, sis, any value to a Negro who, let's go back to the first statement. When he basically say slaves chose to be slaves. They didn't really fight back. They was kind of like, well, we here, let's be slaves. It was so ignorant, the Negro should have been canceled then. Should have been canceled then. Then he flips around, and though you and I agree Donald Trump was the best thing that happened to black people, but we're not saying in the content that it's to help empower us, just to say it woke us the fuck up to understand, Negro, those people that you think might be cool with us because they may have a personality and a swagger and a hustle like us, they don't give two damn shits about us. He walks around here trying to convince us that the MAGA hat and the MAGA way to go is a way to go. So not only do you talk about slaves, our empowered ancestors, but then you're trying to support a guy that don't support us as a collective. He may support rich Negroes, but he don't support us as a collective. Should have been canceled both times. But what we do, we allow him, we forgive, because now the Negro's on. I'm done with politics. I'm on my Jesus hype. He jumps on the Jesus train. Negroes applauded. Negroes celebrated. Yay, Kanye. We're going to Sundays with Kanye. Something that another Negro in Sacramento was trying to steal. Another Negro in Sacramento was trying to steal that idea, this Sunday thing. We ain't going to talk about that. But it becomes, it's a circus show. And we accept the circus show instead of calling out. The black celebrity don't call it out because they all gotta support each other in the fuckery. Negroes try to make some sense of it. Well, the reason what he was saying about the slaves was, if you Negroes don't understand, a white man will not, and a white woman will not teach you your proper history. Do you know how many slave revolts it was going on a daily in America? Are you Negroes kidding me? There was a few Negroes that was like, Master Good, just like they are now. Master Good, I'm going to keep on working. But the reality for you to say that Negroes wasn't fighting back every day, being in bondage. They gave you the Nat Turner story. They gave you the story of the white pastor that helped Negroes in a revolt. They gave you those few stories because they couldn't just be like, okay, Negroes was just chilling at the cotton field, hanging out, getting whooped. No. Niggas was fighting every damn day in different cities and different states around America trying to gain their freedom. You are just giving a few stories because if you're giving all the stories, the empowerment will be so great. So the ignorance that comes out of his mouth, to me, should have been like, why are we paying attention to this Negro? But we accept it. We choose to empower it. We choose to lift it up. We choose to celebrate it. We choose to give it excuses. We choose to point the blame. And some niggas choose to identify the truth in his illogical ideas. And to me, watching a Negro have a fucking personal meltdown tells me enough. This nigga's sick. He needs help. Get him the fuck out of here talking about anything black political. Because here's the problem that I have, sis.
Talk to me.
When these Negroes have the power and nothing really is going on, like things are always going on in the black community, but nothing going on in the black community where it really slaps niggas in the face like, oh shit, we probably do something. When the shit is a little calm or calmer, none of these niggas do anything proactive. It's always reactionary, just like how the white folks, let's do Black Lives Matter murals all over. I don't want no Black Lives Matter mural because I know my life matters. I want black power, motherfucker. I don't give a damn about your murals. I want economic solutions. I want economic power. I want economic justice. Give me some land, give me some buildings, and leave me do what the fuck I need to do with my people. Why do these niggas always seem to come out and fly in tragedy? Yeezy, I appreciate your shoes. I love his shoes. But why ain't you made the Yeezy Educational Institute in Chicago, move it here to California, put it in Atlanta? Like, why ain't these niggas doing something in such an impactful way when it's a kind of a calmer storm and niggas really are like ready to kind of work, not work in distress? It's always this distress moment where niggas start flying in, I'm gonna be your savior. If any nigga is buying into this bullshit, I gotta check your mind. I'm not buying in. There should have never been an Arnold Schwarzenegger as a goddamn governor. There should have never been a Ronald Reagan as a motherfucking president. And there should have never been a Donald Trump. And these all niggas are connected to what? Celebrity and Hollywood. So there should never have been any of these. If we're gonna have people, and this is not saying the people that we do have are better, but if we're going to have people, they need to know the science of political agendas and at least have some years in a political form, something like gain something before we jump and lift you up to say this nigga's ready to be president. But to watch the mental breakdown and then to go on Twitter and see this nigga going in, you got some personal issues with your wife, handle that. That's not for us to hear you be a president. Shit is crazy, Queen. All day.
Well, Barry, look, I think you said a mouthful. I think you said a mouthful. I think Kanye is who Kanye will always be. And I think we just have to I think in a way he needs to be ignored, but that's just me. I think that he's definitely, I am going to say, I know his relationship. I know people who know him in Chicago. So his relationship with a mom, when you lose your mom, because everybody's relationship with their parent is totally different. So I do think that did impact him and how he moves. I definitely think him talking about his dad not being there definitely impacts people differently. Some people grow stronger, some people grow weaker. I also believe that I just think he needs to be ignored. And be checked in a different kind of way. See, I'm interested in the dudes who's going to roll up on Kanye and really really check him for real, like the way he should be checked. But I think sometimes we don't always do that because the saddest thing about being with Black folks is that we don't always get to we don't always get to have those conversations with each other. See, there was a time where people will roll up on you when you say certain things about their community, and then the person will come out and be like, well, that's not what I meant. Like they would change that around because they knew their life could be on the line. Black people are the most disrespected people because we have this blind faith to people who don't love us. Like if you ride hard for Black people, we don't show you no love for real. You know, we don't come to the party of shit happening to us until it personally knocks on your door. And all of a sudden we got to stop the press because something happened to your loved one. But before then, was you in the fight? These are the questions people should be asking us, to be very honest with you. And though I love Black people, I just don't feel like sometimes we have to stop giving out these damn passes to people. That's just what I think. I think we give a lot of passes to people. And we really don't, we really don't ask them to give us money when they should be giving us. I think Kanye is one of the things I will appreciate. I appreciate by anybody like a Kanye. At least he's saying what his truth is and not lying to me. You know, we have a lot of people who lie to Black people because they know a lot of us are really misguided. And so they know we don't always tell the truth to each other. They know that already. So I don't know. I just, between him and then Nick Cannon, like what was Nick doing? What's going on with Nick Cannon? I mean, we love a hero until the shit get hot. You know?
Well, you know, Nick found out he wasn't a boss. You know what I'm saying? Nick found out them Jews be wilding out. You understand what I'm saying? Anti-Semitic. I guess that's what niggas are. You know, Nick and Kanye are two valuable lessons on why we don't need Black celebrities to be our leaders.
Right on.
Like we really, why they are so dangerous in so many ways, right? Because here you are allowing Negroes who have been getting paid heavily and splendidly and well by our white superiors in these places. Like the money they were making with Black people ain't close to the money they made when they developed this thing that white folks was like, oh shit, we can make a lot of money off of you guys. So when you get in money from Master and Master's open up the gates to say, hey, yo, y'all welcome in. Like, really? Yeah, y'all welcome in. Come on, come rock. Now what you're doing, what you're saying is, you know, you remember, we're giving you these earnings. There's some things that you can do and there's some things you can't do. And what you can't do is go too far off to thinking of you are the one that created your space. Now, did Nick and Kanye create whatever it is that they do? In a sense, they do. But the machine behind them created that bigger impact to make them global sensations in so many different ways. Wow. So when you got a Nick Cannon, a nigga who just jumped off the porch with his Blackness, we're not going to knock you, Nick. Thank you for Drumline. But for the most, Nick Cannon has always been a corny Negro to Black people. He's just one of those fun, lucky Negroes. And we all right. But all of a sudden, he does a movie with Spike Lee, and this nigga just feels compelled to be overly Black, starts wearing the little Moore hat, whatever, and everything like that, and starts channeling into his inner Blackness. And Blackness overall has become, again, the trendy thing back in the days when we were all wearing our African pendants and doing it. Some of us, it's our lifestyle. Some of us jumped on it when Wakanda came out. You now have Nick Cannon feeling like, okay, you know, white folks is kind of opening their eyes to Black lives. He got a little bit too jiggy with it, I like to say. And you start bringing in people that white people don't want you to talk to, but you know, this Blackness is being embraced. You bring a Professor Griff Negro.
Oh, yeah.
You already know has a history of pissing off Jews and everybody else. You feel like you mannish enough. You know, it's easy to go after the white boy Eminem, but you don't go after the things that protect Eminem. You understand what I'm saying? It's easy to go after the white boy, but you don't go after the white machine, especially if you attach to the machine.
And
he gets too comfortable. He gets too comfortable. He speaks his truth. What he was saying wasn't wrong, but he was saying it in a way like, yeah, I said it, now what? And he got his ass sat back down. And the cold part about Nick is exactly why I don't trust, I don't feel, I don't fuck with these Negroes who are attached to all these corporate entities, right? You're attached to Viacom. You're attached to Fox. They're giving you checks, dog. You're not getting checks by yourself. You're like Tyler Perry. That's why I respect him. He got his own checks. Now, he might do some collaboratives, but he don't really need to. And if they say we ain't effing with you, usually, which is kind of what was the reason why he went solo, he's okay. Now, will it get you the money that some others may get? No, but he's built up an empire without kissing ass and doing his thing. Now, we may not all agree on his truth, but he ain't had to go do the things that Nick Cannon and so many other celebrities do. You can't tap dance one day and then all of a sudden have baseball bats, right? And think you're going to be a militant Negro and they still giving you a check. That can't be a reality for a black man or a black woman that is a part of this system. So when you start going outside of your speaking points, though he was speaking truth to power, and you know damn well that everyone is looking and watching, and you say one thing, I'm a boss, I'm unbothered, you on this He-Man shit, niggas was like, all right, Nick, until they said, Nick, they brought you to the principal's office, and they told you that's not what's going to happen. And then Nick started seeing that those checks that he was getting and the reality that he was facing wasn't the reality he wanted, because he feels good in a house of white supremacy. He feels more comfortable in that house, because you got to remember, black people didn't F with Nick like that. And the black people overall thought he was corny. Great businessman, but he's corny. So he embraced his blackness. It sets off people. We're celebrating it. He's walking around bossy because he is a boss in his own way, but you're not the boss. And when they brought him down to the levels, he did what every other Negro who works for somebody does: apologize. Not only did he apologize, the Negro said, what the fuck was I thinking? Didn't do my research. Didn't do my research. My bad, y'all. You know what? I called some of my Jewish brothers and sisters, sat me right. We ain't the original. And that to me,
what did he say that was so wrong, though, that he needed to?
That blacks was the original Jews.
Blacks, yeah, but black people thinking about what can make somebody so upset that you would have to come out and apologize.
Blacks were the original Jews. Yeah, blacks were the original Jews. That's what it was. He could have easily just said, blacks are the original people. I say it all the time. You say it all the time. I'm not, you connect the dots where you want to connect the dots.
Right.
But I said what I said. But not only did he sit there and take away any, he just said, man, all the shit I was saying was bullshit. And to me, like,
that's why he's a corny Negro, though, because he can't.
He's a corny Negro.
His own word. He can't even stand by that shit.
Like, niggas, like, I would apologize, because folks on my line when I brought it up were like, well, if he offended people, he should apologize. Niggas is getting offended every day. And niggas don't apologize to us for shit unless there's a gun to their head. So my thing is, you can apologize. Say, well, you know, I understand that I pissed some people off, but the reality and the truth is what it is. No, but I apologize on a level of that, but the truth is still the truth. And stand on that. That Negro said, boom, and then turned around and sat there and threw it back on us like a cowardly Negro. I can't believe black people are turning their backs on me, and now they upset because I apologize because I offended some people and blah, blah. What? You offended us, Negro, because you made us believe that you was ready and you was about it. And you're not ready and you're not about it like that. So stop pretending and stop jumping off the porch. The one thing I needed Nick to do, the one thing I needed Kanye West to do is to be where you're at. Be the spook that sat by the door, get the resources, get the access, and bring it back home for the people that are unapologetic to do the work. I don't need you niggas to be the leaders and be the voice box. The reality of what celebrity has become, niggas need to take everything. It's like now we got niggas in the social justice thing, so the social justice advocates can't even be social justice advocates because we got celebrity social justice advocates that take away from the work that we do. So now they become the voice box. And half of these niggas are just now getting onto this because they might have said one good thing, one good speech, and probably just showed up. But they never been around before because it's a trending thing. And that's the problem that we often get with niggas like Nick Cannon. It was easy to go fight Eminem and talk shit, but when it's time to really battle the beast, nigga, you run it. And you run it. And I'm not mad at the young Negro, but at the end of the day, don't speak out of turn. And if you're going to speak, learn how to. What he should have did, he should have let Professor Griff say all the bullshit, because Griff, that nigga was outlawed already. Let him say the bullshit and him be like on some old, really? Don't put yourself in, because we need Nick Cannons and we need Kanye's to be the access and the resources and funnel the revolution. We need them to fund it. We don't need them to be in the front of it. It's not necessary at all, in my opinion. Niggas might think differently, but I don't need Nick Cannon talking for me. I don't need Kanye West talking for me, because them niggas have already been diluted. They have. Once you get so much of that white sun, ain't no coming back being really black, because you know all of the secrets. You know all of those, you know too much. That with Bill Cosby, he knows too much. Sit his ass down. You niggas know too much. So how do you believe that you're going to be able to walk and be tall and start talking like black independence when you're not even really independent from the supremacy? You are codependent from the supremacy, and you are making good living off the supremacy. You just need to go ahead, get the resources, get the access, and help us build. That's what you should be doing. We got Farrakhan's to talk that shit. We got other niggas to talk that shit. Everyone does not need to be the focal point of leadership to talk shit. We don't need everybody to be the ones that say it all. Have other motherfuckers do that, and we need people to continue to funnel the money. We have no infrastructure. We have no dominating infrastructure at all in Black America. We don't have those things. We don't even have the basic needs. We don't have the basic grocery stores, schools, healthcare. We don't have those basic things set. These are the kind of things that we need these guys to do, not talk all that shit because they got a platform. Talk that shit in a way where you're bringing people that are talking that, and let them be the voice box. And what you're doing is supporting them with the money. That's the game. Not you. We don't need y'all niggas to do that shit. I hate it. The Puff Daddies of the world, the T.I.s of the world. Y'all niggas all lame. All lame, all corny. Y'all been had your time. Like, why are y'all all now talking now? Black people have been having problems. None of the problem, all of the problems, if you really ask me, have kind of escalated upwards, because here we are with more riches and in a worse predicament. And we now have more access because we do have more black millionaires. We have a few more black billionaires. And we still asking where's Little Africa's at in every city in the United States, where in every city in the United States there's a Chinatown. Come on, man. We're hustling backwards.
Well, some of us don't even know we're hustling backwards because we really on the other side's team. Let's be honest. That's why Nick Cannon jumped ship, because he was like, oh shit, I'm fucking up the team I'm on. I ain't really in love with black people. I mean, how I came to fame is that I talk shit about them with everybody and we make fun of black culture all day. So how could he ever really be with us? Let's keep it solid. Who is Nick Cannon? How did he make his money? How does he walk around in the world just with a turban on? What does that mean? When he talked about why he was, love Mariah Carey, and I heard this whole little, this nigga's a colorist. Like, why? Shit, I don't care what they do with this motherfucker, to be honest with you.
Two Negroes that wives don't look like they Black mamas.
That's why I'm like, I'm not. It's like Nick. You know, I know Professor Griff probably having to laugh. Like this, how you can tell a real Negro. Put him on Professor Griff shit.
Or no. Here's the thing. He invited Professor Griff on his show.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh, he didn't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Got happy. Okay.
The nigga got happy. These niggas is getting too happy. They thinking like, oh man, white people are talking about black lives. Niggas got RBG colors on capitals during the nighttime. This might be my time. Because he's already been, you know, he had Tariq Nasheed off before. He's been already going, having more of these, kind of talkers of the black community. That nigga brought my brother Griff. Shout out to my brother Griff. I just saw him in Arizona in February. We was talking that shit. And here you have it. The nigga got off the porch. You know what I'm saying? You know, like when you tell the kid, don't get off the porch, they get off the porch and all type of shit go stir crazy. Nigga, I told you not to get off the porch, right? Nigga start figuring it out. And that's what happened. And even Professor Griff was looking at this nigga like, all right, okay. Because Griff just kind of let him go. And folks are blaming Griff, said Griff knows better. What happened? That ain't nothing on Griff. That ain't nothing on Griff.
That's real.
Griff ain't got nothing to do with that. That's all on Nick. That was Nick's platform. Nick just thought he was blacker than what he was. You feel me? And my thing is, like, did he say anything wrong? Don't Jews and LGBTQ, don't they control half the shit? I mean, what's like, why are we so afraid of that? I mean, I'm not knocking them. They did what they needed to do to be in power. But if you say one thing wrong about LGBTQ and the Jewish community, Negro, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? It's a wrap. And they had a nerve. I think there was an article of the anti-Semitic Negroes. I guess they had like Nick Cannon, they had Puff Daddy, I think. Farrakhan, of course, was on there. And it's kind of like, wow. So Negroes can't even say that they're the original people. And it doesn't, it bothers folks. So my thing is, until they get rid of white Jesus, we ain't never going to get to a place to where we're ready to talk about black issues. We're ready to talk about black empowerment. We're ready to talk about Black Lives Really Mattering, because we're getting rid of all these racist statues and portraits and taking street signs of these racist enslaved owners.
Well, that's Barry.
But I'm just saying though,
we've been living. We don't just live with a statue. We live with their behaviors.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying their behavior to make us believe that Jesus was white. Like, when we gonna start, like that to me is that when you can really start being a little bit more bolder. If you in a Nick Cannon or Kanye with West position, you can start being a lot more bolder, because at the end of the day, these niggas are just bipolar. And it's not to shit on Nick. It's not to shit on Nick Cannon. It's not to shit on Nick Cannon or Kanye. But we know what it is. When the checks start running low and when they start getting bothered in their pocketbook, just like any other person, you start getting bothered in your pocketbooks, you think about things a little bit differently. And so if you're going to talk that shit and speak your truth, stand on your truth. That's all I'm saying. Or just don't say shit. Or just don't say nothing. That's my thing. Why say anything if you're going to just go do the Michael Jackson backslide and moonwalk and pretend like, nigga, I ain't said nothing. And then tell us, and then now Nick Cannon, he's contemplating suicide. For what? Negro, stop. Stop.
You're not Goldstein, fool. Sit down.
Stop. The nigga was not Epstein. Yeah. When we don't know if that motherfucker's on a goddamn, island or not. And this is a cold part about white folks. How deep how sinister they are. You had a white boy, Jeffrey Epstein, with his whole, the sex trafficking of children and molestation of children and child pornography in Hollywood is big, big business, right? Big, big business. Like, it connects so many different Hollywood somebodies and Hollywood nobodies in this kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. The cold part about it, Do you see these mother effers sweating the simple fact that even the like they got Jeffrey is supposed to be dead, but they got his Cody, his like #1 ace, his homegirl, ex-lover that helped him in the shenanigans. Like these folks who are still around that we see that are still earning, that ain't went down and went to prison. Like what's your boy that just went down, the Hollywood mogul that just went down.
Oh, I forgot his name. I can see his face.
The white boy that just went down. You know, they just kind of sitting there knowing some shit's gonna all work out and their secrets are still gonna be safe. Like the shit is like, you got to really understand what you're kind of battling and dealing, how they can just end your career and end your livelihood. Like if they're not stressing off that, if they're not making a move off that, you don't hear nobody coming out all of a sudden confessing like, before she comes out and says it, I'm going to say I did it. You know what I'm saying? They sitting, waiting for the moves to be made. And to me, that speaks volumes of their power, right? Because there are real things that they need to be targeting outside of anti-Semitic bullshit that they try to throw on black people all of a sudden. They should be looking at all of Hollywood, all these celebrities that are connected and tied in to these sex rings of children, not just women that decided and said, hey, this is the kind of lifestyle that I want to live, but women and young girls that had no choice. Like, we're not even talking about that at all. We're talking about Kanye and we're talking about Nick. Now we're going to utilize these niggas as the scapegoat to everything else. Shit's crazy.
Well, I think if you really understand the true history of America, there is no value on children. There is no value on human life. There is no value on people, but a few people, you know, those chosen few, those elite. That's, you know, if you really, really understand history, no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like it ain't even about focusing on the Jews. If Nick and all of them took that money, went to different hoods in America and put a supermarket, a bank, and some housing complexes around there, some nice affordable housing that people can own, then you could talk to me about them coming after you. Because they know you ain't gonna do shit with your talent anyway, or with your riches. You know, you're not gonna build something that's gonna be a continuum that will be here after you're long gone. That's when you become what a threat is. But I really think that we don't want to focus on that, because when you're a narcissist, everything is about you. And you don't know when you're a narcissist, when you leave the planet, don't nobody fucking remember a narcissist. They'll talk shit about you, but they ain't gonna name nothing after you. And if you left them a trust that's gonna keep giving you money, like Charles Gady. That's why, you know, this man was a geneticist. He hated black people. Did we have schools named for him? Do we have buildings at UC Davis or Sac State University named after this man? Do we have park named after this man? This man was a geneticist, but he left enough legacy where people gonna remember him forever, because he left money and something that you could build on. And we gonna tell Kanye, I don't give a fuck if you like Kim or you have a certain type. Go back to Chicago and invest in something for real, like affordable housing for the people who used to be where you were and where your mom worked at. Because his mom impacted a lot of people. She was a great woman. But if we're not talking that, the Jews don't really give a damn. They know you ain't gonna really do nothing with those riches but feed your own sick ass. Ain't nobody gonna remember wilding out 10 years from now. They're gonna be like, look at these niggas. This is what they was doing when they got freedom. That's the kind of shit they gonna say. We allow the whole world to make fun of our culture. Like we some goddamn clowns at, you know, the damn zoo or something. Like, you know, we was a zebra or something. That's what people are looking at. Kanye West is like a good example of what can happen to black people when you try to go inside of a system that ain't meant for you. No way. It was built off of your back, your sweat. You know, it was back in the day, Kanye would be a Negro hanging from a tree where people would be cutting off his testicles and his ears and shit like that as a souvenir. Like, I got a piece of the nigga we hung on this day in July the 2nd, 1872 or some shit like that. Now they just can see him on video and watch it over and over again and him acting a goddamn fool. We got mental, we got real fucked up mental shit happening. I think these people are picture perfect when you do try to stand up. Because I think Nick, I just ain't into niggas like Nick. Nick just got to pace. He got to squat and pace some real dudes. And I'm not talking about the dudes who are trying to. Because I feel like he's done the classic. Let's just make fun of black people. That's how he got rich. You know what I mean? I don't see where he's really taken his riches and really made a solid impact. I don't care about.
Folks will say this, that he, I mean, and this is kind of like even with Kanye, he's empowered Negroes by employing Negroes. You know what I'm talking about?
We came here to be employed. That's why we was born here. Except for we didn't get no benefits and we didn't get paid shit. We were terrorized and lynched and murdered. So we came here for a job. It cannot be about a job. Black people, get that shit out your mind. You were born here to do a job. Okay? Don't nobody care about you having access to making movies that's going to make us look like some goddamn buffoons. We don't care about that. I can see if he was fighting for access for us to all get home loans so we could buy where we live, and we could buy up whole communities. You know, I have a lot of respect if a drug dealer sold a bunch of drugs, fucked up his community, but managed to save some money and was like, I'm giving back to my community while buying up the block and making sure people, I can see that's a redeemable quality. But half these Negroes, Barry, they just worrying about themselves. If they left today, we wouldn't even miss Nick. We'd be like, next. Next Nick. You know what I mean? Come on, dude. If you really want to redeem yourself, build something. Food, clothing, and shelter. Take either one. All of them if you want to. Work on that. And it's not about employing black people because we already got fucking jobs. We was born here to do a job. Shit, we owe hundreds of years of back pay. So it never can be about a job. What about your dignity? What about your respect? What about your integrity? He has no integrity right now. This fool just dropped a bunch of knowledge, supposedly, and then backed up off it because he was scared because he didn't have any integrity. I mean, we can't believe shit this dude say.
At all.
Nothing. Wild's like, oh, I hope that, well, he ain't going to be on Wild now because the white man did what? And then 50 Cent. Let's jump to 50 Cent. 50 Cent get on my nerves, but sometimes I like when he fucks with people. I just do. I like when he go na on it. I do. Because that's that petty shit. And they need to hear because he's their contemporary. So they need, when he said, he going to produce a show with Michael Blackman that's going to be like Wildin' Out. He like, bye, nigga, I got your spot. And I was like, y'all can be mad at 50 Cent. We knew the dude was petty. But at least he, I like that he did that. I was like, okay. Because sometimes we need the reminder how crazy we look. We need that reminder. This shit looks absolute crazy.
And I think the craziness, again, goes to the point of don't talk He-Man and not ready to fight Skeletor. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk that He-Man shit and ain't ready to fight Skeletor. And understand it, though we are the creators of the universe, we ain't the masters of the universe at this particular time. Understand what I'm saying? We are the creators, but we sure ain't the masters. And again, when you watch two crazy, like out they mind Negroes, in the same week, we got all this other shit going on. We fighting some real battles. Still got this COVID-19 shit that's fucking with us. That's turning around, screwing up our livelihood. I ain't seen. I hear Kanye West saying he gonna give some outlandish number to people that have babies and all these crazy things, but held no composure of with his emotions. No real idea on how this thing works. He does understand, I feel, the economic game. But when you don't see these black power figures coming together, putting pots of money to help black businesses, when black people got to run and get SBA loans that they're going to eventually either pay back or go to jail for because they've done some illegal thing to even get it. I know people that have no businesses, no nonprofits, no. Are you serious? What? Oh, what? Sis, this is the SB loan is like the biggest scam known to man right now. Niggas calling me up, yo, B, hey man, you need to, I'm like, man, slow down, dog. Like, I don't need that. I'm good. I'm not that tied up for money like that, dog. Do your thing, player. But I'm not finna go fold into that. And if I fold into it, it's gonna be legitimate because I do have people on my payroll. I do run and operate an actual business, you know, for profit and nonprofit, because the nonprofit world, for folks that don't know, it is a business.
Yes,
right?
it is.
It's not, I don't know what y'all niggas think, because you hear nonprofit, it's still part of a business dynamic, right? It's part of that world. You Negroes choose if you're not getting money for your nonprofit, or if your nonprofit is not generating money, that's on you. You're not doing your business correctly. You know what I'm saying? So reality for me is two things. You have Negroes going out there shooting a shot, thinking they're shooting at the right target, they're shooting at the wrong. Then you got Negroes backing away from subject matter that, again, creates that it creates a lack of empowerment, because as we cry and scream Black Lives Matter, some of us are talking Black Power. And Black Power is utilizing our power streams, whether they're inside the system or outside, to build and create our own. And that, to me, is kind of where we need to be. We don't need the celebrities kind of exposing all of our ideas or exposing themselves to be the moving targets so they can get dumbed down, so they can feel inadequate, so they can then say, man, I ain't with y'all niggas because y'all niggas didn't have my back. No, Negro, we never told you to go out and say that. And when you did say that, a lot of us said, all right, Nick, go ahead us. And with niggas like Kanye, we can't fuck with you. Because, nigga, you ain't never sat there and redeemed yourself from all of the fuckery that you've done before you now wanted to sit there and say, I want to be president. The most dangerous thing about Kanye, we got Biden and we got Trump. What he does, if he's serious and he really does this, he splits the Black vote. Now, this Negro doesn't come up with a political party that says power to the people, or all people, the all people party, or the Black political party. He has a political party called Birthday Party. The Negro has a political party called the Birthday Party.
Are you serious?
I mean, like, come on, man. Like these shenanigans and it's buffoonery, and you niggas are literally like getting sucked into this shit. Some niggas is really, it's like, enough is enough, Black people. I like Kanye for one reason. Well, actually two. I liked his music back in the day, and I love his shoes. I'm not on boycott shit because I don't give a damn if I want to buy Gucci, if I want to buy Louis, if I want to buy Kanye. I don't give a damn. I'm going to buy what I'm going to buy if that's what I choose to do, because these niggas don't move me. At the end of the day, like I told him, another Negro, when there was another boycott they wanted to do, I said, actually it wasn't even a Negro. It was I think a Latino or some of the white guy. I don't know what the fuck it was. But some dude talking crazy. I'll say, yo, check this out. Boycotting don't work no more. The way we do anything and to empower us, we got to build. And some people say, we can do both. No, we can't. Let's focus on the build. Let's focus on the build. Some of y'all niggas can juggle, but a lot of us, we can't. So let's focus on the build. If we ain't building, we ain't talking about nothing else that's important to me, because we need to strictly think about economic justice. Social justice is even too far to imagine. Economic justice, because I guarantee you this. When I go to those communities, like the Asian communities that are set with an economic ladder and an economic chamber, Latino and Asian, you don't see police patrolling their areas in the way they patrol our areas, in the way they're going to stop us, in a way they're going to harass us. They may be in their area, but them motherfuckers are not there to do nothing else but just drive through their beat. They're not stopping, they're not harassing, they're not doing anything that they're not supposed to do. With us, there's nothing that says it's our community. Even the outsiders have more shit in our so-called communities. And that, to me, is not a community. So if we're not focusing on that, to me, I think that all of this is us again running in circles. And we have to be able to focus on something, not focus on these ass clowns, these silly ass Negroes who are trying to persuade us to really believe that we really need to buy into their fuckery and bullshit. And anybody doing that, I think that you need to get your head checked. Right
on, Barry. Well, look, we got a lot to talk. We got a lot of stuff.
We're gonna be back. Remember, she cut our time, family. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working with my babies, okay?
We working with our people. So check us back here, 8:30, Earth Mama Network. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll be back for 3 weeks, 8:30 to 9:30. Peace, family.
All right, hold on, Barry. Don't hang up. Hold on. Let me just get this out of him.